on my nerves, 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 on my nerves. He's getting 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 on my nerves. My nerves, on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves, on my nerves.
You on my nerves and I think I should run. I observe you really ain't fun. I observe you need a rerun. Not pop that like Mr. Rerun, but think about it like Mr. Reverend. Will a shoe fit? This is not a pun. Call me a little bit, please stop that hun. Like I'm with the phrases, I had one. When I cascade and yes it's fun. When he come through looking that well done. When I come through he know that he won. When I come through the fun just begun. He getting on my nerves then he can be gun. In other words like what you play on. Do I gotta curb them and be on? Let me know cause I'm home by done. Okay.
On my nerves, 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 on my nerves.
They getting on
my nerves.
He getting on
My nerves.
You getting on
My nerves, on my nerves, on my nerves, on my nerves, on my nerves, on my nerves, on my nerves.
He's getting on
my nerves.
They getting on
My nerves.
He's getting on
My nerves.
You getting on
My nerves.
My nerves
My nerves.
He's getting on
My nerves. My nerves.
Looking thirsty, I never looked this good before. Have you been thinking on how things could have been controlled?
Step 1, look at me with those eyes. Step 2,
Tell me the things that you like.
Step 3, follow my lead with dopamine, then we can dreams. Feeling so messy, you know I'm possessive because you're the one that I want. All that you do is just get on my nerve. Do you even know what I want? 7 years are gone apart. I don't even know who you are. I feel like we fell apart. Need me in the kitchen instead of singing. You already know I'm about to become your favorite star.
Boy, I do better when I'm riding so long. But you're sexy when you're toxic. Let it go. Feeling this rush inside.